Hi everyone, been a long time since I've done a video. Uh, I just been doing a lot of different things lately. Um, Went through a lot of losses with my family, and um, my grandmother was 100 when she passed away on Veterans Day. On that same day, they found one of my clan cousins that I grew up with. They found her frozen in Winslow, alcohol related. Um, so we did two burials, a day apart. My grandmother first, and then her. Later on, about a month later, they found my brother, um, North Phoenix on Bell Road. The video that I did of him when I was looking for him. Um, we never found him. So he passed away from drinking. I know he had gone through so much. He was completely broken. I did my best to help him, but of course, I can't save everyone. I can only do so much for people. Uh, Everyone has their own personality and their own story of what they go through. Um, the thing that I've learned is that um, I had to take a really, really good look at myself of why I was the way I was from drinking and drugging, why I kept doing what I was doing. I had to really look at myself first in order to figure out why I kept doing what I was doing, why I kept hurting myself the way I was. Um, what why am I the way I am? All these things of how I treated myself so horribly in the past. I had to take a really, really good look at myself, and now I understand why I'm the way I am. Once I took a really good look inside of myself, now I can understand why others are the way they are. Um, I may not know their stories, but I can understand why they behave the way they do. And if like say someone comes up to me to for help, I can at least um, have an idea of um, why they are behaving that way. So it's not easy really to help these people with their issues because a lot of them they don't want to talk about it. They tend to um, stay in their comfort zone of not letting go of a lot of different things that happen to them throughout their lives. So I do my best to teach them by talking to them about myself of what I went through. So it's to get what they call rapport, to make them comfortable with me to open up. Um, I don't use any names. I don't give out information to anyone. I ask them for their permission to use their story to help other people. So I don't um, break the confidentiality of helping people. I don't go around talking about someone. I do my best to help others with the stories of what people gone through, so as to teach them how they can help themselves, what they need to do. So I do a lot of reading and all this stuff that I learned. So I bought this book. Um, it's a book on psychology, by Laura A. King, that I found at a Goodwill. It was like $35, uh, but it's really a really helpful book on psychology that I found. So a lot of these things that are in here teaches about human behavior, of how um, the health and wellness, social influence, intergroup relations, close relationships, sociopsychology, and health and wellness, anxiety disorders, mood disorders, just all kinds of personality assessment, personality, health and wellness, industrial psychology, organizational psychology, organizational culture. So there's a lot of different things in this book that that has tools for effective life change. Change is really hard for people, um, because they're more comfortable in their comfort zone of where they're at. They don't want to change themselves because they feel the safety in the area of their life of where they're at, so they don't want to change at all. So a lot of these things that go on with these people, they they don't want to change themselves, so they continue to, and that's all they know really. They haven't learned anything else, so they continue to just stay within that realm of destruction of alcohol and drugs, making things worse and worse for themselves, not knowing what they're actually doing to themselves because they didn't learn anything else about healing themselves. That's all I was doing to myself all these years, was hurting myself. I've been watching a lot of these videos on YouTube on all kinds of human behavior, a lot of these how um, society is making everyone behave differently, um, towards others, not knowing what they're doing to themselves. A lot of these videos, to me, are making people behave so erratically, that it's like they're teaching them that it's okay to go out and do these things, because a lot of these people on these videos, they get released. They go around killing people. They go around abusing, raping, molesting people, um, and then they plead um, not guilty, and they end up in these mental hospitals for a short time, and the doctors say that they're cured with some kind of medication and that they're not going to do it again. So they release them back into the public, right? And like a year or two later, they end up doing it all over again, maybe even worse than the things that they've done before. And it's all, to me, it's just a huge scam. It's all about money. The more these people go out and do these things, they bring them right back in just so they could get more money off of what they've done from these people's the types of um injustice that goes on in all over different places. And a lot of these people that watch these videos, I think that it's teaching them that it's okay to be that way. And all these social media, all these different things of so erratic behavior of all kinds of people, it's just getting worse and worse. So I've been learning a lot just by watching these people, and I go around my village warning everyone to watch their children very carefully because they're going to be taking care of us when we get old. And it's like it's just getting, everybody's so immersed in these social media apps that they're not even learning the things that we learned when we were young. I grew up with my great grandmother, and my great grandfather had already passed away when I was like 2 years old. So I didn't really know who he was, but his teachings were coming through my great grandmother and my uncle. My grandmothers from my mom's side, um, they all learned from him and my great grandmother. So I learned a lot of different things from them. Not only them, but also from the elders in the whole village, from my kiva that I go to. And so it the behavior that I was in from my drinking and drugging, I didn't know these things that I could heal myself just by listening and learning from my elders. It it's kind of like the Red Road, the White Bison book. I have it over in the other in the house, so I didn't pull it out yet. But I've been I was in this rehab for a little while, and I learned quite a bit from Dr. McIntosh that's running this rehab. He goes way deep into the subject on each chapter. Each chapter isn't that long, but there's so much to learn from it, and he breaks it down piece by piece. He reads between the lines of everything that's being said, that's being read from that book. It comes with a workbook too, so it's like a huge learning process. Whereas if you were alone, you wouldn't even learn the way I did from Dr. McIntosh of how he was teaching us. So there's a lot of different things that are in that book that's really powerful from how we should be learning from our elders, from our long ago people of the way they were living with the Great Spirit, Mother Earth, and how we pray in our way of life. I don't like to use the word native people. Native is just another word. We are Hopi people. We're not Native Americans. Americans came from Europe. They came here and stole our lands and desecrated our lands and destroyed everything. And they took control over, the government took over and took everything away from us. And it's like they're slowly killing us little by little. Everything that's happening with these cell phones, the way President Trump used everyone to fight one another, it's horrible with the way the world is now, of how everyone is treating one another. And it's another um, prophecy in our Hopi way of life of how these things are gonna turn out. Our elders already knew that the white man was coming and how destructive it was gonna become. And it's only gonna get worse. All these drug dealers, all these bootleggers out here on our Hopi reservation, there's fentanyl out here now. Um, it's just so crazy of how everything is just getting so out of hand, and it's it's a huge melting pot. um Mother Earth is being destroyed big time, real quick. That's why the weather is so powerful now. uh Mother Earth is getting destructive. That's her way of healing herself, by getting rid of all these humans that are destroying her. She's trying to teach us a very powerful lesson of not to be this way anymore. All this hatred, all this killing, all this fighting, all this abuse, everything that we do to each other, what we say, how we think and feel, it's it's so destructive that no one seems to understand what it's doing to everyone. Everyone has been so intoxicated with all this immense power of the internet, and how they can say things to each others all the way across the world and get away with it. People killing themselves just because someone told them to, and paying them for this. I mean, it's on TikTok. It's on all these social media apps of how these girls show themselves with no clothes on. I mean, they pay them to take all their clothes off. And I've seen this one where this girl was killing herself, um, like it was all fake. But yet she was making a lot of money doing that. And yet all these other young girls are watching her do this. All these boys are watching her do this. And everyone, it's like she's teaching everyone that it's okay to do these things. I saw this video on Netflix. Jeffrey Dahmer's on Netflix. All these different types of new new ways of it being so destructive is on Netflix. On all these other different types of apps where you can watch these type of movies. Uh, the destruction of humans is becoming so out of hand. But I choose not to be that way. I'm I'm in control of my emotions. I'm in control of my own thinking. The way that I think is making me feel these emotions. Therefore, the way that I'm feeling is making me behave this way. So as long as I'm thinking good thoughts, my emotions, my feelings are good, and my behavior is changed. I don't behave the way I used to. I don't lash out at people like I used to. And a lot of these things have become so different for me. Once I changed myself, everything started to change around me. It takes a long time to reach this point. I'm 11 years clean and sober now, but I just learned this stuff like a month ago. I I I couldn't believe what I was doing while I was clean and sober. I My previous marriage fell apart because of the way I was behaving, because I didn't know these things yet. But now that I know all these different things of how I should be behaving, thinking properly, and learning to accept things the way they are, learning to accept people the way they are, everything around me, um, I I choose not to be sad. I choose to be happy. And if I'm feeling lonely and tired and depressed, I know that those feelings they're not they're not going to be around forever. It too shall pass. And so I just let it flow through me for the time being and let it all go instead of trying to mask it or trying to kill the pain with alcohol or drugs. So these things that I've learned lately is so powerful for me. Praying for all these different things has helped me a lot. So now I may not have anything. I mean, I only have like $4 in my account. My silver got stolen. I hardly have any silver to work with. I don't get food stamps anymore because my wife makes so much money. We don't live together because my tools and all the things that I work with, they don't have room for me at her house. I don't have a place of my own, my own for us to live together. She takes care of her mom, who can barely walk, and so I stay here at my mom's old house. I don't have no electricity or running water in here. This light is coming from a power cord, an extension cord that runs to my mom's trailer. So that's how I'm able to stay in this house by myself. I stay all alone. Nobody comes to see me. But I choose not to be lonely. I choose not to be sad or depressed. I'm okay. I have my music. I have my drums. I can go out and talk to people if I want. It goes both ways. They don't have to come here. I can go out and see them instead. So I'm not using that as an excuse to feel sad. Oh, nobody comes visit me anymore. My friends aren't around. What? I have friends. I can go see them. It's so easy to deal with these things. Why can't you do it for yourself? I mean, we teach our children, right? We tell them all these things of what to do and what not to do. Why can't we do it for ourselves? Learn to change yourself and become a better person, and your whole world will change around you. So I just wanted to put this out there of how I am now. So a lot of things was happening to me in the in this past few months. So that's why I haven't really been doing any videos. I just wasn't motivated to do these things. So there'll be a lot of other different things that I'm gonna talk about yet. So um I'll see you guys again. Thank you for watching, subscribing, and listening. And I hope you learned something from this. I love you all. May the great spirit be with you all always. Talk to you later.